This movie is coming out in a week, and I actually just kind of have mixed thoughts about this movie. The I know I'm probably not the target audience for this movie, but I like the effort DreamWorks has put into the movies recently, with both the bad guys and Puss in Boots. I really admire the effort and talent that went into those movies. Even though I don't like the Bebop art style all too much, I think for once with the bad guys, it can be forgiven because the art style for the bad guys is very reminiscent of Spider-Verse's art style, which almost more than makes up for the flaws and the hatred I have for the Bebop art style. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I already made a video about that movie. It's premiering on the 30th, so go watch that about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. But this is DreamWorks' new movie, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. And it looks eh. Yeah, is all I have for this movie. I like the fact that they're portraying mermaids how they're supposed to be, how they were portrayed in real life. Mermaids are supposed to be evil, who, female mermaids, are sirens who attract males and sing sips, which is very much to the real life, stories of mermaids across the world, without the fairy tales, because mermaids do not exist. But this movie, it's just the art style. I don't like all too much of this movie. It goes for your stereotypical cartoony beatmouth art style, not trying anything new, as well. And I'm gonna use this image as a thumbnail just because I want to. But this movie, it looks better than stuff like Turning Red, which for a movie that costs like $200 million to make, Turning Red has no excuse to look that mediocre. Save for Elemental. Okay, this movie only cost $100 million to make, and they're aiming for the cartoony, mostly Cal Arts Beamout art style, and I just do not like that art style all too much. The story, also in the trailers, they reveal too much of the plot, and it's just modern Hollywood in a nutshell, reviewing too much of the plot in the trailers. So if you want to watch this movie and you don't want to be spoiled, I prefer you not to watch the trailers if you want to watch the movie blind, because they really spoil the movie in the trailers, which is all too often in modern Hollywood as well. Of course, the movie is not out as well, and apparently there's review bombing at IMDb, which again, mostly because people don't like this art style and people are sick of the bean mouth art style. I think I can speak for everybody. People are sick of the bean mouth art style. It's very, very, very cringe, and and cartoons have already moved on from the bean mouth art style, but now animated movies are suffering with this awful art style that people just do not like. Okay, and of course the company that's pushing it the most is Pixar. Okay, but still at least this looks better than Elemental, which I can give a props for that. But another reason why I think this movie, they're trying to make fun of Little Mermaid and Disney, whereas I think, DreamWorks has always done this type of stuff where they made fun of Disney, but it is kind of getting old. And the fact that they're releasing this movie against the Little Mermaid remake is pretty hilarious as well, and has been pushed by many people as the alternative for the awful Little Mermaid remake. Well, I'm sure this movie would be a better movie than the Little Mermaid remake. And apparently, if you want to see this movie because you don't like the Little Mermaid remake, apparently that makes you a conservative, because you'd rather see this than Disney's garbage, awful remakes that, are complete trash and utter garbage. Okay, but yeah, Ruby Gillman, overall, it looks meh. It doesn't really look like a movie that is gonna shock the world. It looks like it's trying to imitate Luca as well. You know, which is another Pixar movie as well. It looks like this movie was inspired heavily off of Luca and a movie like that. So they're using a similar art style even to Luca as well. Luca had to do with sea monsters, and this movie has to deal with krakens and mermaids as well. And yeah, overall, I think this movie is probably going to lose a lot of money, like the projections are saying, because they spoiled too much in this trailer and the trailers of the movie. And let's not forget that this movie works mediocre using a bean mouth art style. Goodbye.